but most people don't understand it. And so what happens is you have a savings account, you think you're doing all the right things, and suddenly you still can't buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
And you still don't buy much, you can't buy as many shares of Tesla as you wanted to, and you still can't buy as much gold as you wanted to. And you're like, why? I'm saving money, I'm working hard, but I can never get up the ladder. That's what debasement's about.
BitcoinZilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to BitcoinZilla today and enjoy the new edge. Raoul Pal, founder and CEO of Real Vision, shares his macro outlook and why he thinks we're headed for an economic singularity with the rise of AI.
Central banks and governments putting money into the system. So we have something in the US called Fed net liquidity. So what is the three component parts of that state level liquidity? Well, that's driven by the Fed balance sheet, quantitative easing. They're still tightening, but they've reduced the amount of tightening. Then we have the reverse repo, and that is basically where banks mop up all of their funds. So if that's very big, money's tight, and when they start taking the money out, it goes into the banking system. The other side is the Treasury General Account, which is the checking account of the government. Now, if they've got a lot of savings and they're not spending it, which is where we are today, then conditions are tight. But once they start writing checks, what happens is that money floods into the system. And that is a kind of a net increase in money into the system. So if you make more of something and it's in abundance, its purchasing power or its value declines. So it's not that necessarily you and I get to borrow money more easily. It's not that. It's that there's more money around and it debases currency. It's like this magical thing that happens. Now, on the private sector side, the stuff like M2 growth and private sector credit growth is kind of a function of that, but they both work together because you can create dollars in a Eurodollar system. You can just create them out of thin air by being a bank. And so what happens is there is this huge increase in money that happens. But we as people don't generally get it. Sure, your mortgage rate may fall a bit, but really it's this debasement effect that happens that's more insidious that we don't see and don't really understand. Asset prices take off, but our earnings don't. So therefore, we get poorer in terms of the assets we can buy. And an asset is just future deferred consumption. If you buy gold today, your expectation is you can sell it in the future at a higher price to protect your purchasing power. But today, you can buy less gold than you could a month ago and less gold than you could 5 years ago, and because your wages don't go up in the same as these scarce assets that move because of debasement, which is why property prices, I mean, when I bought my first flat in London, I was in finance earning a decent salary, but I was young. I was like 24, and it cost me 3 times my salary. If I were to look at the same kind of person, 24-year-old, work at an investment bank early in their career, the same apartment will probably cost 10 or 12 times salary. That's debasement.
Binance founder and former CEO Changpeng CZ Zhao walked free from a United States federal prison on September 27 after serving a 4-month stint for anti-money laundering violations. TZ pled guilty in November to federal charges for failure to implement proper AML controls at Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange in terms of daily trading volumes, according to a November 21 statement from the U.S. Department of Justice. He also stepped down as Binance's CEO. With a reported net worth of approximately $60 billion, CZ is the wealthiest person ever to serve a prison sentence in the U.S. In April, CZ agreed to return to the U.S. from Dubai to serve his 4-month sentence. He spent the first 2 months in a minimum security prison in Southern California before relocating to a halfway house in Long Beach, where he was allowed supervised daytime excursions, according to a September 26 Fortune report. We are delighted that CZ will be home with his family. While he is not managing or operating Binance, we are excited to see what he does next. Since last year, Binance has continued to thrive under the leadership of our current team, surpassing 230 million users globally. CZ's 4-month sentence was a significant reduction from the 36 months in prison the DOJ originally sought to reflect the seriousness of the offense. According to an official statement by the U.S. Department of Justice, CZ's guilty plea included not only AML violations but also unlicensed money transmitting and sanctions violations. Zhao knew that his decision not to implement an effective AML program would result in Binance facilitating transactions between U.S. users and users in Iran and other sanctioned countries and regions in violation of U.S. law, the prosecutors wrote in the sentencing memo.
And this is an important point. So really, of all the assets that we monitor at Exponential Age Asset Management, there are only 2 that beat the 8% debasement plus, let's say, 2 or 3% global inflation. So 11% is the hurdle. The S&P keeps track of it roughly. The NASDAQ does 17% a year return since 2011, and Bitcoin does 140. Gold doesn't meet it. Almost nothing else meets it. So you're really herded into 2 assets only that can actually beat this thing and make you money, so your future self gets wealthier. So people have been incentivized to do that. Now, you might say, but this is crazy because people are taking such risk. But there's another piece of magic that happened, is the Federal Reserve and the government understand that this is the case, and they understand that we have a lot of debt, and we understand that the collateral of the debt is the savings and investments of the population, so they don't allow it to go down much. So if you saw it last time, the S&P got down 30% in 2022, and liquidity came back. So they've stopped markets falling 50, 60, 70%. Sure, different stocks can, crypto, because it's not really a big part of the collateral system, but they don't allow the collateral to fall. So what they've done, what it means for all of us, is they've taken the big risk out.
Bitcoin itself, meanwhile, continued to hold key support levels after a slight withdrawal from the 2-month highs. Price is grinding up against ask liquidity once again, with some passive selling into price around $65.8 thousand. Skew noted in a further post about trading activity on the largest global exchange, Binance. Bid liquidity, he added, was shifting towards $63,000 from below. So I noted the possibility in prior days about a shift from ask depth to bid depth in spot order books if market remains strong with momentum above $65,000, the post continued. We can see some of that taking place here with takers taking ask liquidity from $65,000 and more passive buyer flow coming into the market. In a potential additional sign of bullish priced action to come, Phil, co-founder of Trading Suite Decentrator, revealed a very low ratio of long to short BTC positions. Similar conditions, an accompanying chart showed, immediately preceded BTC price upside. I'm on the view Bitcoin has a particularly familiar bullish smell, he concluded, having discussed various other promising indicator data. At present, we are technically lacking a higher high that would drive a wedge into those asks where we see if the FOMO can kick in. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.